Everybody, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. What do you think about having all your kids out here in front of all these NFL scouts?
It's great. Everybody does it, so how many guys you have is kind of the key. It's a good group we have out here. There's like 14, 15, something like that. So it's good. You know, they're here most of the time. I mean, I know a lot of guys go to different places to train. One of the advantages about Houston is, what we have to offer here in the city and what we have to offer here at the University of Houston. A lot of the guys stayed here and trained. So I've been watching these guys get ready for a couple of months now, and that's, it's a tribute to our strength coach, Daryl Bauer. We pride ourselves in developing players, and, Daryl and his staff, Kevin and Uncle Brett and Clarence and Nate, those guys have been with me for going on 4 years now. So the continuity that exists from a developmental aspect is pretty awesome and rare, and so a lot of these guys and a lot of the former players are here. And a lot of NFL guys come rolling through here, whether we coached them or not, just because of what we have to offer here. Plus, the weather's pretty good too.
Then as they go through the process, and obviously the NFL personnel comes to you, so you get a good picture of sort of where your guys stand, after combine, in between this part and the draft. And
yeah, we get a little bit of an idea. Whether we agree with it or not, I mean, it's somebody's opinion. It just takes one person to really like somebody to get them drafted, probably a little higher than you thought they were going to get drafted. But just with all the things, you got plenty of video. You got the guys rolling through here, evaluating them. Talking to specific personnel. You got the combine. You have visits, Senior Bowl. All that stuff, you add all that up, and you have a pretty good idea who's going to get drafted where. It's so hard to make it. The ones that do get drafted and the ones that do make it, good for them, because it's hard, and there's just not a whole lot of them that are even working out here right now that are going to have that opportunity. The other part of that, it's not just the NFL. We have some other leagues that are popping up right now with, the success that the XFL had here and is coming back with the USFL happening right now in Birmingham, and there's some guys here that may be playing in the USFL here in the next month. You just don't know. So there's a lot of opportunities for these guys. It's not just about the NFL, because the NFL is just so hard.
What have you thought of the growth of Logan, Marcus, and Tamarian on your watch?
Pretty spectacular. Just starting with Logan. When I first got here, I tried to talk him into moving to tackle, because he was so clumsy. I thought he was going to hurt people in practice because he was falling down all the time, and he's like, no, I'm good. And then he gained 60 pounds, he matured, and turned into what I think is a first-round draft pick. I won't be surprised if he's not a late pick like PT was, which Peyton's here. He killed this pro day last year, and Logan did a good job with it here today. So obviously I was wrong, he was right, and he's going to be a first or second-round draft pick. Pepe's, one of my favorites. Came in, was really raw, and has played a lot of ball over the last 3 years, and never missed a practice, never missed a game. Just a real tough kid that played a whole lot of snaps, So, and who else you say? Anini?
Marcus Jones.
Yeah, the other two, David Anini's another guy that they're talking about right now. Has gained weight, has got the biggest wingspan that is in the combine, or that is in this draft right now. So, he brings something to the table when it comes to being able to sack the quarterback. He's got a skill just as a pass rusher, and then Marcus is Marcus. Marcus has been the same since I've been here. I'd like to take credit for anything. I really can't take any credit for him. His developmental process was already done by the time he got here. Just watching him on scout team, because he had to sit for a year. We all said the same thing. I mean, he can do anything that he wants to. And then. Arguably the best returner that has played. I've coached a couple of good ones, and Tavon Austin and Wes Walker that were, known as two of the better ones. Marcus is arguably better because he can do both, and in addition to being able to play offense and defense. So I can't take credit for that one. Marcus is Marcus.
Dana, the feedback on Marcus, like we talked to the teams, what kind of feedback do you get from these guys?
We thought that, he had shoulder surgery on both, and so we thought that might, not being able to work out, not being able to show his skill set might hurt him. But you can just put the video on, and you can see that. You sit down and you meet with him, and he blows you away. So they really don't have to ask, because they're going to sit and they're going to meet with him, and after they do that, they figure out that this kid can do about what he wants to do and be successful no matter what he chooses to do. And then the skill set speaks for itself.
Danny, can you just talk about the momentum you guys built last year heading into the off season, where the program is at now heading into another year? The expectations just keep ramping up for you guys.
Yeah, and we welcome that. Our goal is to host the championship game on this field next year. The way the American does it, if you host it, you're going to win it. So our goal is to host it, and that means every game counts. You got to win the league, but if it's a tiebreaker like it was last year, then they go to the non-conference stuff. So every game is going to count, and our schedule's not easy. If you look at, open it up at UTSA, which was a top 20 team, and at Texas Tech, who drilled a SEC school in the bowl game. Everybody thinks Tech stinks because, they beat us and they fired their coach. Well, they were a bowl game and they beat Mississippi State by a lot. So they got a lot of momentum right now too. And that's week 2 at Texas Tech. So our schedule's challenging. But couldn't be happier with where we're at. We're 12 practices in right now. It's going well. Our continuity with our staff is good. Recruiting's going well. We'll have a whole bunch of recruits here tonight for our I guess tonight is our 12th practice. But we'll have a lot of guys here tonight. We're still actively recruiting and trying to sign kids, and then working towards 2023 as well. So couldn't be happier with where we're at.
Did you get a chance to see Tajay blow up on ESPN last night?
Did. I've been vocal. I'm a huge basketball fan. Can't say enough. You talk about momentum. Coach Sampson and the basketball team, kind of started this momentum about 5 years ago. I went to the Elite 8 game up there, and wish a few of those shots would have went in. Been playing here tomorrow, but fantastic season with what they accomplished. I didn't tell you. I thought game 1, I'm like, whoever Tajay Moore is, number 4, may be the most freakish athlete, unbelievable athlete that I've ever seen on a basketball court. I watched it last night, and it was no surprise that he won that thing.
Dana, as you get deeper into the and transfer portals, do you sort of have a better idea of that, where you target things and not specific guys, but maybe positions, or is that regardless, you had your plan going in?
Yeah, we still have about 10 spots available, I believe. Going through spring, there's a couple of positions that we need some depth at. I don't know if we're necessarily looking for a starter right now, but if we can get good players to come in and compete and end up starting, that just makes us better. So it's best available, but we got a couple of positions that we're targeting just to get depth. The problem is those specific positions, everybody else wants them too. When you're talking about offensive linemen and corners that everybody needs and everybody wants, and once those guys jump into the portal, everybody tries to get them. So we look at it every day. We're not done looking at it. That thing's going to be opened up for about another month, and once it closes on May 1st, we'll see what's available and figure out if they're a fit.
Thank you.
1 or 2 more?
Okay.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Coach, good to see you.
What about a guy like Chandler Smith that's out here and maybe wasn't the most widely known, but this is an opportunity for him to really show what he can do?
Yeah, it's not just him. There's 4 or 5 other guys out here like Cole McGowan and Jalen Irwin, Seth Green, a couple of guys like that didn't play a bunch, but still played. And the thing about development is you never know when guys are going to quit developing, to be honest with you. That's the tricky part about high school recruiting, is you don't know what they're going to develop into. They may be tapped out, they may not be tapped out. And then it goes back to, what are they out here trying to do? Everybody loves pro day. This is a dream come true to a lot of people, to be able to come out here and participate in this pro day. And then there's more than just the NFL. You missed this a minute ago when I said it. There's more than the NFL. The NFL is so hard. There's only a couple of these guys that are going to have any shot to be able to play in the NFL. But there's the XFL and there's the USFL. You know, there's other leagues that are popping up. There's the Canadian Football League. There's other leagues that are popping up that need players. And guys like Chandler who love football, you know, don't be surprised if he's not going to have an opportunity somewhere to be able to play.
And I
Thanks,
apologize if you've been asked this already, but what does it say about this program that you guys are getting so much support and love from a lot of these scouts here?
31 teams, I believe. I think there's 32, right? So the Rams, which don't believe in draft picks, openly admitted don't believe in draft picks, are the only team that's not here. That worked for them. But no, it's good. This is one of the better turnouts we've had. You know, been fortunate to be a part of this for about 20 years, and this is as good of a turnout as we've had.
Thanks so much, Coach.